The sky sounds phenomenon, trumpets of the apocalypse. Imagine stepping outside your house on a quiet evening, the sky painted in hues of orange and purple, when suddenly a deep, eerie sound vibrates across the horizon. It does not come from a factory, an airplane, or any human-made machine. Instead, it echoes as if the heavens themselves are blowing a giant trumpet. For over a decade now, these mysterious sky sounds have been recorded in dozens of countries, from the forests of Canada and the farmlands of Ukraine to the busy cities of the United States, and even the icy stretches of Scandinavia. The sound is described as metallic, droning, or like a horn of unfathomable size. Videos of the phenomenon flood YouTube and TikTok, often sparking heated debates. Are these the so-called trumpets of the apocalypse, mentioned in ancient religious texts, or is there a scientific explanation hiding beneath the mystery? Witness accounts are chilling. People describe their windows rattling, their pets behaving strangely, and an overwhelming feeling of dread that washes over them as the sound grows louder and then vanishes just as quickly as it appeared. In Kiev, Ukraine, one particularly famous recording in 2011 captured the eerie horn-like noise reverberating across the entire city. Construction crews stopped their work. Children were taken indoors. Elderly residents whispered about the end of the world. In the Canadian wilderness, hunters swore they heard the earth itself groaning, as if some ancient force was awakening beneath their feet. Scientists have tried to offer explanations, ranging from atmospheric pressure shifts to the movement of tectonic plates deep beneath the Earth's crust. Some argue that the sound could be a form of infrasonic noise produced by electromagnetic activity in the upper atmosphere, similar to how auroras generate waves of energy. Yet, even those explanations fail to fully capture why the sound is so loud, so localized, and so terrifyingly consistent in its metallic, trumpet-like quality. If it were only a one-time event, it might be dismissed. But the fact that these sky sounds have been recorded on multiple continents, often miles apart, suggests a global phenomenon that we barely understand. And then, there is the darker, more unsettling theory that these sounds are not natural at all. Some conspiracy thinkers suggest they are linked to secret military technology, massive machines hidden underground, or even extraterrestrial activity. Religious believers, on the other hand, interpret the phenomenon as a divine warning. Biblical references to trumpets heralding apocalyptic events make the comparison almost too eerie to ignore. Could it be that what we are hearing is more than just a natural phenomenon? What makes the situation even more strange is how animals react. In several videos, dogs are seen howling in unison with the sky trumpets, birds scatter in panic, and even cattle have been reported to stampede suddenly. Animals are known to be far more sensitive to vibrations and sounds that humans cannot perceive. If they are reacting so strongly, does that mean the noise is not just audible? It is also deeply physical, resonating with something within the Earth itself. Whether it is geology, atmosphere, or prophecy, the strange sky sounds remain one of the most baffling mysteries of our time. People continue to capture them on video, and every time, the world stops for a moment to wonder, is this just science we do not yet understand, or is it a warning that something far greater and more terrifying is on the horizon? The return of animals where they should not be. In the last decade, people around the world have been witnessing animals behaving in bizarre and unnatural ways, sometimes appearing in places where they have never been seen before, sometimes traveling in massive groups as if guided by an unseen force. These strange animal migrations and appearances have left both scientists and ordinary people deeply unsettled. Take, for example, the whales of Alaska and California. Entire pods have been found swimming dangerously close to shorelines, beaching themselves in tragic numbers, or appearing in waters where they have not been spotted for centuries. Fishermen report being surrounded by hundreds of dolphins at once, their movements synchronized in unnerving precision. In Chile, hundreds of dead squid washed ashore in 2016, creating a horrifying scene straight out of a disaster film. The sheer scale of such events is shocking, and yet they are happening more and more frequently. Birds, too, have been part of this strange shift. In several parts of the United States, thousands of blackbirds have fallen from the sky, dead, all at once, scattering across roads and rooftops in a terrifying rain of feathers. Scientists attributed some of these events to fireworks startling the birds, or to disease spreading through flocks, but the explanations fail to account for the sheer scale and simultaneous timing. In one incident in Arkansas, the sky was filled with dead birds falling just after midnight on New Year's Eve. To witnesses, it felt like a biblical plague had descended upon their town. Then there are the elephants of India. In 2020, satellite footage showed a group of elephants marching hundreds of miles in a perfectly straight line, far from their natural habitat. No one could explain what drove them. They crossed highways, rivers, and even villages, ignoring food sources, moving with purpose as if following an invisible command. Some saw it as evidence of environmental disruption forcing animals into unusual behavior, while others believed it hinted at something far stranger, perhaps animals sensing changes in the earth or even responding to energies we cannot yet measure. Marine life has also provided some of the most unsettling mysteries. Great white sharks have been tracked venturing into colder waters where they should not survive, and jellyfish blooms have multiplied in record numbers, choking coastlines and altering entire ecosystems. It raises the question, are animals reacting to climate change and shifting environments, or is there something deeper, something invisible, that is disturbing the balance of life on Earth? The spiritual interpretations are even more fascinating. In many cultures, animals acting strangely is seen as a harbinger of disaster. Ancient Romans recorded unusual migrations of birds before major earthquakes. In Japan, folklore says that fish washing ashore en masse is a sign of impending tsunamis. Even today, some communities view the strange behavior of animals as warnings from nature itself, messages that humanity has lost its balance with the planet. Whether the cause is climate shifts, magnetic field changes, or something we cannot yet comprehend, the undeniable truth is this: animals across the globe are behaving in ways that feel unnatural, and every incident adds another piece to a growing puzzle. It leaves us with an uneasy thought. If animals can sense something long before humans do, then what exactly are they trying to tell us? Mysterious lights and orbs across the sky. For centuries, humans have gazed at the night sky in wonder, mesmerized by the stars, comets, and the occasional meteor streaking through darkness. Yet, in the past decade, a new phenomenon has emerged. Strange, unexplained lights moving across the sky in patterns that defy conventional explanation. These are not airplanes, satellites, or space debris. These are mysterious orbs, streaks, and glows that appear suddenly, sometimes hovering silently for minutes before disappearing without a trace. They have been reported across the globe, from the deserts of Nevada and the mountains of Peru to the frozen expanses of Siberia and the bustling cities of Europe. Eyewitness accounts are often eerily consistent. People describe glowing spheres that change colors, sometimes pulsating like they have a heartbeat. Some lights appear in triangular formations, moving in perfect synchronization, while others zigzag across the sky at impossible speeds. In Chile, residents filmed a glowing orb descending over a remote village, and for several minutes it hovered in the night air, casting an unnatural blue light over the surrounding hills. Local authorities could not provide any explanation, and satellite tracking revealed no conventional aircraft in the area at the time. In the United States, a series of reports from Arizona and New Mexico described silent drones that looked like orbs of light moving in complex patterns over major highways and desert plains. Drivers reported being dazzled by the brightness, with some even swerving off roads to avoid the glowing objects. The orbs often appear and vanish without warning, leaving no evidence behind. No debris, no landing mark, not even electromagnetic interference strong enough to register on scientific instruments. Scientists have attempted to rationalize these occurrences as atmospheric phenomena, such as ball lightning or reflections of satellites and drones. While these explanations may fit some cases, they cannot account for the scale, frequency, or coordination observed in other sightings. Drone technology, for instance, is still limited by battery life and range, yet many of these lights move across hundreds of miles, performing maneuvers far beyond the capabilities of any known human-made craft. Some researchers believe that these mysterious lights could be related to unexplained energy surges in the Earth's magnetosphere. In areas with high geomagnetic activity, unusual electrical phenomena have been documented in the atmosphere, sometimes producing luminous effects. However, even this theory cannot explain the sheer variety of orbs and lights that have been seen around the world, nor the uncanny intelligence in their movements. The lights often seem aware of observers, reacting as if they know they are being watched, appearing closer to people who are filming or tracking them. The cultural and spiritual interpretations are as fascinating as they are unnerving. In Native American folklore, glowing spirits in the sky were believed to be omens of change or warnings of natural disasters. In parts of Africa and Asia, similar sightings are associated with messages from ancestral spirits or divine forces. While skeptics dismiss such interpretations, the consistency of global reports suggests something extraordinary is happening. Whether these lights are natural, technological, or something far beyond human understanding, they are undeniably capturing the attention of people across every continent. Sudden global weather anomalies. The weather has always been a source of human fascination and fear. From monsoons to blizzards, hurricanes to droughts, Earth's climate has a way of asserting dominance over human life. But in the last few years, scientists and citizens alike have noticed a disturbing trend. Sudden, inexplicable weather anomalies that appear without warning, often in regions where such phenomena are historically rare. Snowfalls in tropical countries, tornadoes in deserts, heat waves in traditionally cold regions. These anomalies have become increasingly frequent, raising urgent questions about what is really happening to our planet. In 2020, a desert town in Saudi Arabia reported unprecedented snowfall, covering sand dunes with a pristine white layer. Residents had never seen snow in their lifetimes, and meteorologists struggled to explain the event. Similarly, in southern Brazil, regions that typically experience tropical rain were suddenly struck by severe hailstorms, destroying crops and creating temporary landscapes more reminiscent of the Arctic than the tropics. Satellite images confirmed the anomalies, yet no conventional weather patterns could fully account for these sudden shifts. Meanwhile, heat waves have appeared in traditionally cold regions, such as northern Europe and Siberia. Temperatures in parts of Norway and Finland soared above 40 degrees Celsius during summer months, causing wildfires, infrastructure damage, and panic among populations unprepared for such extremes. At the same time, coastal areas of the United States experienced record-breaking storms, with tornadoes touching down hundreds of miles from the usual tornado alley. Hurricanes have suddenly shifted paths, striking places historically considered safe, like the Mediterranean coast of Spain and the shores of Ireland. Experts have long warned about climate change as a factor, and indeed, rising global temperatures, melting polar ice, and changing ocean currents play a significant role. However, some meteorologists point out that the speed, precision, and sheer scale of these anomalies suggest additional, less understood forces may be influencing weather patterns. High-frequency shifts in the jet stream, sudden changes in ocean temperature, and unexplained electrical phenomena in the atmosphere all appear linked to these unusual events, but researchers are still grappling with how and why they occur. Even stranger are the sudden microclimates, localized weather events that appear and disappear in minutes. In one example from India, a town experienced a torrential downpour in a single street while neighboring streets remained dry under a scorching sun. In the United States, A small town in Texas reported hailstones the size of baseballs falling for just 10 minutes before the storm vanished completely. These anomalies defy standard meteorological modeling, leaving scientists scratching their heads. Some theorists go further, connecting these anomalies to magnetic field shifts, solar activity, or even the unexplained lights and orbs appearing in the sky. Could it be that some unseen force is influencing not only the heavens, but the very weather on Earth? While conventional science is cautious to make such claims, the coincidence of these events around the globe is impossible to ignore. Citizens, of course, are the first to experience these phenomena. Farmers lose entire crops to sudden frost, families are forced to flee unexpected floods, and cities scramble to react to record heat or freezing conditions. Every extreme event leaves a trail of disruption, damage, and confusion, highlighting just how fragile human life can be when confronted with forces beyond comprehension. Taken together, these global weather anomalies suggest that the world is entering an era of unpredictable, unprecedented changes. Patterns that were once considered stable are now erratic, leaving both experts and ordinary people questioning what comes next. Are we witnessing the natural cycles of the planet, accelerated by human activity, or is there something more mysterious at play, an invisible force altering the rules of nature itself? Unexplained disappearances and vanishing places. Across the globe, there is a disturbing trend that continues to puzzle authorities, scientists, and ordinary people alike: the sudden, inexplicable disappearance of individuals, entire groups, and even entire areas that seem to vanish from maps and records. Unlike natural disasters or accidents, these disappearances leave almost no trace behind, no logical explanation, and often occur under circumstances that make even seasoned investigators question reality itself. In the United States, one of the most famous mysteries is the ongoing phenomenon in national parks and remote wilderness areas where hikers, campers, and explorers vanish without a trace. Cases like that of Dennis Martin in the Great Smoky Mountains in 1969 remain unsolved decades later. Martin disappeared while on a family camping trip despite hundreds of searchers scouring the forest. There were no signs of struggle, no footprints leading away, nothing to indicate what happened. Today, similar cases continue, with individuals disappearing in places where cell phones, cameras, and tracking devices should make survival or escape detectable. Europe has its own share of strange disappearances. In the dense forests of Germany and Poland, hikers have reported being followed by a sense of being watched, strange sounds, and flickering lights before vanishing in areas previously known to be safe. Sometimes, witnesses are found days later disoriented, claiming they were somewhere else entirely, unable to explain how they got there. Archaeologists and historians have even noted that ancient towns and villages sometimes disappear from official records, leaving gaps in history that modern researchers are only now beginning to notice. Maps compiled decades ago may show settlements or roads that no longer exist, raising questions about whether these are natural anomalies, bureaucratic oversights, or something far stranger. Asia, too, presents its own enigmas. In the Himalayan regions, travelers report that entire mountain trails seem to disappear, only to reappear hours later in completely different locations. Tribes living in remote valleys speak of strange fogs that swallow people whole, claiming them for unknown realms, only to release them later with no memory of what occurred. These stories, while often dismissed as folklore, gain credibility when modern technology corroborates some events. GPS devices have recorded impossible changes in position. Compasses spin wildly without explanation, and drone footage sometimes shows paths and features that cannot be found on any existing maps. Some of the most unsettling disappearances are not limited to individuals. Bodies of water, islands, and landforms occasionally vanish, only to reappear decades later. Lake disappearance is a documented phenomenon in parts of Africa and South America where large freshwater lakes shrink dramatically over a few years, only to refill mysteriously with no evidence of environmental cause. Entire villages in the Amazon are sometimes erased in satellite imagery, with vegetation covering ruins so rapidly that human intervention seems implausible. Geologists suggest that tectonic shifts, erosion, or volcanic activity could account for some cases, but many incidents defy known physical laws. Conspiracy theorists and paranormal investigators have long speculated that these vanishings might be linked to otherworldly phenomena, portals, alternate dimensions, or unknown forces acting on the Earth's surface. While mainstream science is cautious, the sheer volume of consistent reports worldwide cannot be ignored. The disappearances follow no borders, affect no single demographic, and seem to respect no law of probability, making them one of the most chilling global mysteries of our time. Ancient technology and the rise of strange signals. The final phenomenon that has left the world both fascinated and fearful involves strange signals, ancient technology, and unexplained electromagnetic anomalies that seem to connect multiple mysteries across the globe. From unexplained radio frequencies to sudden bursts of high-energy emissions in remote areas, scientists are now questioning whether the Earth itself might be generating signals we cannot yet understand, or whether they are the remnants of some ancient, advanced technology that has been forgotten over the millennia. In 2021, a research team in the Mediterranean detected unusual electromagnetic waves coming from the depths of the Ionian Sea. The signals were rhythmic, almost like coded messages, and unlike anything produced naturally. Attempts to trace the source led to ancient underwater ruins, submerged cities that had been lost for thousands of years, yet still emitting detectable energy. Some experts theorize that ancient civilizations, perhaps with technology lost to time, may have created devices capable of influencing the environment or sending signals long after their creators vanished. Similar signals have been detected in other parts of the world, including Central Asia, Antarctica, and even the deep deserts of Egypt. These signals often coincide with other strange occurrences: animal migrations, behaving unusually, electromagnetic interference that disrupts instruments, and even unexplained weather anomalies. It is as if the Earth itself is communicating or perhaps awakening in ways we do not yet comprehend. One of the most unsettling aspects of these signals is their interaction with modern technology. Pilots have reported compass malfunctions when flying over certain areas. GPS devices have gone haywire in regions where signals were recorded, and ships navigating remote waters have encountered equipment failures precisely where anomalies were detected. In some cases, amateur radio enthusiasts have picked up strange, patterned noises, tones that seem deliberate and structured, almost like intelligence trying to communicate. The connection between these signals and human history deepens the mystery. Many of the locations where unusual electromagnetic activity occurs are also places steeped in myth and legend: the Bermuda Triangle, the Nazca Lines of Peru, and the Pyramids of Giza, and the submerged ruins off Japan's coast. Could it be that ancient civilizations were aware of forces that we are only beginning to detect? Or are these signals a product of natural processes that coincidentally overlap with human history, creating a narrative our minds are desperate to decode? Even more disquieting are the reports of people experiencing strange effects when near these signal zones. Some claim sudden dizziness, disorientation, vivid dreams, or even altered perception of time. In remote areas of Siberia, villagers have reported hearing low hums that induce nausea and a sense of foreboding, coinciding with spikes in electromagnetic readings. Researchers struggle to explain the human impact, yet the consistency of these reports is impossible to ignore. Taken together, the strange signals, ancient technology, and anomalies in both geography and human perception suggest that the world is interconnected in ways we are only beginning to recognize. The sky sounds, animal migrations, mysterious lights, sudden weather changes, disappearances, and electromagnetic anomalies may not be isolated phenomena. They could be part of a single, planet-wide puzzle that hints at hidden forces shaping life on Earth, whether natural, technological, or beyond human comprehension. These events remind us that our world is far stranger than most dare to imagine. As science continues to investigate, and ordinary people continue to record the unexplained, the global patterns are becoming impossible to ignore. Something is happening, something that challenges the boundaries of our understanding, pushes the limits of scientific explanation, and forces humanity to confront the unsettling possibility that the Earth itself holds secrets that it is only now beginning to reveal. Global time anomalies. When clocks stop and days repeat, time is supposed to be the one constant in life. Clocks tick steadily, calendars progress predictably, and the rise and fall of the sun mark the passing of days. Yet around the world, people are reporting strange temporal anomalies, moments when time itself seems to behave unpredictably, stopping, slowing, or even looping in ways that defy logic. These occurrences are not limited to superstition or anecdote. Multiple documented incidents suggest that something is disrupting the very fabric of temporal experience in certain locations. In the remote town of Hudson Bay, Canada, residents have reported waking up to find that several hours of their day seem to have vanished, with no memory of what occurred. Clocks stopped, streetlights flickered, and even animals behaved unusually, as if aware that something was wrong. Similar incidents have been recorded in rural Japan, where commuters claim to arrive at work earlier than they should have, despite leaving their homes at normal times. Skeptics suggest memory lapses or human error, but when multiple witnesses experience identical anomalies simultaneously, the explanation becomes far more unsettling. Even more remarkable are reports of localized time loops. In 2019, hikers in the Scottish Highlands reported walking through a foggy valley,